There's UFC Vancouver fight night with Cowboy Cerrone and Justin Gaethje. Is the main
Hmm.
event. Jalen, what did you think of this card? I thought for a fight night, the main card was pretty damn solid.
It was pretty solid. Uh, Main card, all of them were great fights. All of them could have been stopped early, but they all ended up going. And not all of them went the distance. What was it? Almost all of them went the distance except one.
There's
Well, two,
there's two decisions and one no sorry, no,
and
there are
one
three
no
decisions and
contest.
one no contest. But of
Yes.
course, in the first to start off the main card, we had Misha Kirk Kirkunov, sorry, Misha Kirkunov against Jim Crute. We saw only one time in UFC history has the Peruvian necktie been busted out for a finish. And last night was the second time in UFC history that we saw the extremely rare Peruvian necktie coming for the submission in round one. Did you? That was insane.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. They were going back and forth,
Oh,
landing
solid fight.
shots, getting on the ground, going to the dominant position, and then just when it looks like Jim Crute's about to win it, pushing, Misha gets back on top, puts the necktie in, just lays back into it,
Flips
cranks
Crute
that neck.
over. That was yeah. That was it was such a good looking submission. You hardly see it too, so it's awesome to see live.
Yeah, because at first when he first started doing it, it looked like okay, yeah, that's a weird guillotine. When
Right?
you really started sitting back into it, you're like, oh,
I've never seen a
that's
Peruvian
why he did
necktie
that.
done before. Of course, I've seen the videos of it, but it was insane. I was not expecting him to bust that one out.
No, I definitely did not.
Moving on to the next fight, we had a middleweight fight between Uriah Hall and Antonio Carlos Jr. What are your thoughts on this
Hmm.
one?
This one was a great fight. Uriah Hall pretty much obviously is a way better stand-up fighter. It
Yes,
was from the first bell. He looked like the more dominant stand-up fighter. Antonio really did have a way better ground game, but he
hmm
just couldn't get anything going on the ground. He held Uriah down
especially
for
in that
a
third
good
round.
part of a couple of rounds. Yeah, that third round and a little bit of the second round, but he really wasn't doing any damage at all.
See, it was a
He was pretty
dominant
much just holding.
position, but
Yeah,
he just wasn't doing much. This fight finished split decision 28-27. No, sorry, it was 29-27. Uriah Hall on a couple of the scorecards for the judges, which was surprising.
yeah, I think you're right. Pretty much because on the ground, Uriah did hold him for a good amount of times to
Hmm
where he wasn't doing anything on the ground. So yes, he was in dominant position on the ground, but he wasn't doing anything with it.
Uh-huh.
He wasn't advancing. He wasn't landing any shots.
I was just
So I
happy
feel
that the
like
ref didn't stand him
Uriah,
up.
they don't stand him up in that situation just because such it is such a dominant
Hmm
position that you work to get.
Of
They
course,
don't want to take you out of that position when you can do something from
at
it.
least
So
the
they
good
let you
refs don't
hold
want you
positions
to
like that.
don't want to.
Yeah, like if they were in half guard just sitting there, they'd break that. But when you're just sitting there with obviously have his back, they're not gonna take you out of that position even if
Exactly.
you're not working really.
That was solid.
So it was more. I felt like Uriah on the feet was dominant,
Hmm
but I feel like Antonio on the ground, while he was in dominant position, he was not dominating the fight in that position. He was just it was kind of just there.
Yep.
So I feel like Uriah ended up winning the fight because when he was standing up, he was obviously the better fighter. And when they were on the ground, Antonio was the better fighter, but it wasn't as obvious as it was when Uriah was standing up.
Yep. Of course, the fight after that was a welterweight fight between Michael Pereira and Tristan
Mm-hmm.
Connolly. Tristan Connolly actually big underdog in this fight, making his UFC debut. Took this fight on a week notice,
Five
and
days
he
notice.
moved up a weight class for this fight too. And he goes on to win via decision. A really impressive win by him
Yeah,
too. He dominated that most of that fight. Of course, he had Michael in
yeah.
the first
Michael,
round coming out throwing
yeah,
like four flying knees, hitting like a damn like he hit a
Rolling
backflip.
Thunder. Yeah, he had two
He also hit a
backflips.
rolling thunder. Well, he didn't really land it, but he attempted it.
Yeah.
It
So
looked
I
like
feel
he was
like
just like butt
he is a
smashing around
fighter.
UFC
Yeah.
3 for half the fight.
Yeah, he just ran out of stamina. He couldn't hold up anymore, and then
No,
Connolly just got on him.
that third round, Conley was
Yep.
just landing at will. It was bad.
Yeah. And then when you have that home crowd behind you and it's your debut, you're just
Yeah,
not gonna
his
let
home. So
this guy
this fight,
showboat do
he
that.
currently lives in Vancouver, so the whole crowd was for him.
Yeah,
It was fun to watch.
yeah, it was a great fight by
Solid
him.
fight.
Going into the fight, looking at the two, you're like, wow,
He's a big
he's gonna
underdog.
destroy him.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then Connolly just came in there and pretty much manhandled Ray.
really good BJJ from him too.
Yeah,
He had probably like 10, 12 submission attempts. A lot of
yeah,
guillotines.
he
Went for a
kept
couple arm
trying.
bars.
Yeah, he went for a Kimura at one point.
Yeah, the Kimura too. But solid fight. After that, we move into a nice heavyweight fight between the returning Todd Duffy, took 4 years off.
After a 4-year layoff, yeah.
Yep, against Jeff Hughes. This fight was definitely the most. Well, it's hard to say. It was disappointing because it ended in a no contest after an eye gouge by Jeff Hughes
Yeah, he caught him
in
with the
4 minutes
thumb
in
after
round
a
one.
push away.
But the
Yeah, no,
thing
it was
was,
definitely a good fight leading up to that.
before
Yeah.
that was a giant slugfest through that 4 minutes.
Yeah, they were going back and forth. Todd Duffy was still rocked at one point. Right before that eye gouge, Jeff Hughes was pretty messed up. And then he got that eye poke.
It was exciting till
And
the
he
eye
told the
poke.
ref he was seeing double.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
sounded
he
like he
told the
didn't
ref he
want
was
to
seeing
fight,
double,
though,
and then it got, yeah.
which was the weird part. He
Yeah,
sounded
it
kinda
looked.
scared.
It didn't look like he wanted to fight at that point. It kind of looked like he didn't want to fight. Most fighters, even though it is a bad thing that fighters do, even if they can't
They
see, they're
try to
like,
fight.
"Let's go." Like,
Yeah,
let's do
Cowboy.
this. He just,
In
yeah,
July, I believe, against in June or July against Tony Ferguson, has entire eye shut, and he still wants to fight. Cowboy, of course, is just crazy. Love that guy. Moving into the co-main event, which was a light heavyweight fight against Glover Teixeira against Nikita Krylov. This was a solid fight. Ended up going to the distance. Decision win for Glover. What was your take on this one?
yeah. It was a good fight. Back and forth, but I feel like Glover ended up getting the experience that he has, ended up taking that.
Yep. There might have been, besides the Todd Duffy Fuse fight, this might have been the worst fight on the main card, but that's not saying it was a bad fight at all. It was just a good card. But so that of course brings us to our main event of UFC Vancouver, which was the lightweight fight with number 4 contender Cowboy Cerrone versus number 5 contender Justin Gaethje. And what a lot of the talk is that it was somewhat disappointing.
Yeah,
And
it
after
was a
watching
crazy
it,
fight.
I kind of have to agree a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you think? What are your thoughts on that one?
I don't know. I think it's just kind of, it's fighting. It's people are gonna get knocked down.
Of course,
Guys are gonna
the
get
fight
stopped
ended
early.
with a TKO 4:18 into round 1. Justin Gaethje is your winner. They were throwing. They were trading.
They were throwing hands.
Cowboy was taking shots through that first round, and then about 4 minutes in, he took this right hook to the jaw, and dropped him.
He kept taking them. The one that was landing the most for Gaethje was that right hook.
Yeah,
and he just kept
the whole
throwing
fight. Landed right flush on the jaw, knocked him down, and Gaethje got on top, finished him. That was about it.
Yeah, and Gaethje was actually mad that the ref didn't stop it earlier.
Yeah,
because he said that the ref had said himself, "If you fall to your face, I'm gonna stop it."
Yeah,
and Donald Cerrone fell to his face about a good 2 times.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to see, but of course, nothing can. Cowboy's way too far into his career. He's way too of a historic fighter to ever have a fight tarnish his legacy. Never going to happen.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Great fighter, great guy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, of course, after the fight, these guys are really good friends. Their coaching staff is really good friends. You saw after the fight, Gaethje's coach went over and put the ice bag on Donald Cerrone, trying to take care of him. But it's cool to see. Of course, after they only had good things to say. Of course, yeah, Cowboy going the whole apologizing to the crowd that he couldn't go longer, give them a better show, because just what he does. He's just that good of a person.
This is just Cowboy. Yeah,
it's hard to hear him say that because I feel bad for him, but he's just that amazing of a fighter and a person.
yeah,
So, but all in all, that was a solid card for fight night. And next week we have. I'm not too thrilled about the main card, but I'm looking forward to the Jeremy Stevens fight in the main event. I think that should be a fun one.
yeah. No, that'd be a good one. And I feel like this Justin Gaethje win might set up a fight with Conor, especially since the fight ended so quickly.
This is what I was
I feel like
saying.
that could set up for a
So
fight later this year
I
with Conor.
think what happens next year when, please God, Ferguson fights Khabib for the title. Please, I'm just praying because that's the only thing that could make that fight happen at this point. But of course, we all want to
Yeah.
see that. And then after that, I want to see there's two things I want to see. I either want to see Gaethje fight the winner of Ferguson and Khabib, or Gaethje fight McGregor, and the winner of that fights the winner of Ferguson Khabib.
Yeah. No, I just want to see Conor return. Honestly, I want to see if he still has it. That's my main
If they
thing.
fought, who would win, Gaethje or Conor?
I think Conor wins. I feel like Gaethje.
I feel like it's a really.
I feel like
It's Gaethje
yeah.
fights a really bad style for Conor. Conor, of course, is one of the great counters in history, and Gaethje absorbs more. He does have the UFC. He in the UFC has the highest rate of significant strikes landed per minute, but he also takes the most significant strikes per minute.
Yeah, and I don't think you could do that against Conor.
No.
I feel like you take a couple left hands from Conor, you're not advancing anymore.
That's why Gaethje, he's not going to challenge Conor. He's just going to challenge the winner of the Khabib Ferguson fight, of course. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
But, solid card. Hopefully that fight happens. That'd be awesome to look forward to. So,
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be good things to look forward to for the rest of this year. A couple big fights coming up. Israel Adesanya's fight. Versus
Israel and Whitaker in Australia, October 5th. That's coming up real
4th.
soon. Oh, shit. Then right after that, in November's pay-per-view, you have Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal for the Bass motherfucker belt.
Actual belt.
They're actually making Dana's actually making a belt for that. I cannot wait to see it.
I can't wait to see that shit.
I want the old UFC championship belt, but instead of UFC, it's BMF. I'd be down for
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Some WWE type shit.
Dude, it is some WWE type shit, but it's fun. At the end of the day, that's
It
why
is.
some of these fighters are changing their styles. That's what you see out of Tyson Fury. He entertains first, and he's a fighter second. That's how you sell it.
Uh-huh.
And honestly,